So it's been almost 2 weeks since I did the last one, since I dropped the Dookie. So I figured I'd grab an easy one because things have been a bit busy lately. Didn't want to leave you all hanging. And this is an easy one. It's a classic tune, Judas Priest's Breaking the Law. I think you can also use it for Living After Midnight. Probably a couple other Priest songs. There's not too much distortion to it, so let's get into it. All right, starting off with a nice, clean, neutral tone, sterile tone, whatever you want to call it. We are gonna bump our panel up to crunch, and we're gonna drop this gain down to about 26 because we're gonna boost it with a tube screamer. Jump that volume up to about 81 so you can hear what's going on. You can adjust it to your own amp later. With the bass, I got it at about 57. I got the mids at 62 and 67 on the treble. I've got it set on the vintage amp with presence at 63. I don't have a solo or a contour going on here, but I do have the chain on 2-1. Moving on to the boost. Now, to get that nice organic amp distortion sound of, let's say, a Marshall or a Big Stack tube amp that KK Downing or J.K. Rowling or whoever was in the band back then was using. I like to use the tube screamer because it's just a nice overall boost, and you don't need the drive on at all for this one. And I got the tone at +4 and the bottom at 12. No big deal. And the effects right at 50. And let's see how we're sounding just with the amp. Let's turn on the screamer. Needs some work. Moving on to the mod, I just got a light compressor going on here. Got about 55 on the sustain and 50 on the attack. I don't know why it's cranked up on this one. +4 on the tone and 54 on the level, and we're just kind of using this to boost it up and flatten things out a bit. See if we can even hear a difference. Oh yeah. And I do have a light chorus in here, very light chorus, just to kind of give it that layered doubling effect. So let's find our chorus right at the top here. And I've got this really set low. So 5 here. And I've got 4 on the high rate, and then 4 on the low depth, and 5 on the high depth. And I've got this at 2 milliseconds and 1.5 here. 50 and 30. And these are not set to anything precise. They just, when I was playing with it, just kind of dialing things in. That's kind of how they landed, and that's kind of how it sounded good to me. So I got 30 and 50 on these levels right here. I do have the crossover frequency turned down to 100 and the direct mix all the way up to 8. So let's hear. It just adds a slight harmonizing effect to it, kind of like a layered guitar. And then next thing we've got is the parametric EQ. No, the reverb. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. And I got a plate reverb on here. I got it set at 2 seconds on the reverb time, 50 milliseconds on the pre-delay. I put these at flat, 5 on the density, and 25 on the effects level, and 100 on the direct mix. Let's hear it. Just add a little bit of reverb, but I like the plate reverb, especially for metal. But we ain't finished yet. Let's go over to the parametric EQ. We're going to go amp out and +7 over here, 40 over on the low cut. Now I did leave this at 0, and I've got the low mids at 50. Now I got the high mid gain at 4, as well as the high gain, And the level's at 4. Now, I've got this one at 1.6 like I normally do. However, on the high cut, I turned it back just a little bit because it was just too much of that edge, that presence on it. So let's hear it. And I do have one more EQ on here. Just a regular graphic equalizer. Amp in on this one. And I've got this one at -5. We got the 62 at -1. Plus 1.5 on the 125. Plus 4 on the 250. Dialing up some mids in there. Plus 3 on the 500. Plus 3 on the 500. I'm getting there. I left that one at 0. -1 on the 2000. And -5 on the 4K. And then -6.5 on the high end. And this one, it's at -9.5, but it doesn't make a difference. And I got the level bumped up to 3.5. So let's hear it. Turn it on. And our noise suppressor. I got mine set at 50 right here, and I got the release down at 19. Just set it wherever you want. And that's wrapping it up. Let's hear it. Enough of that. Let's hear it in the mix.
I've had every promise broken, anger in my heart. You don't know what it's like.
That's going to wrap it up for this one. As always, down in the description, there will be a link to this one to the Tone Exchange on Boss. And hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more. Till next week, we'll see you.